you know, I'll introduce you a little bit and you can maybe give us some background. So
Okay,
for I know my friend Deborah's on here. She's
sure.
not a blogger, but she's followed me on Facebook forever and ever. So thanks for being here, Deb. um, so Deborah and everybody that pops on after and watches the replay, if you're not on now, this is the lovely Amira from selfguru.com, and I'm so excited to have her on as a live interview. Um, I'll let her give all her backstory, but I'm super excited. I know we're both relatively new bloggers, and it's really great to have this great blogging community to check in with all the time. And I had the great opportunity to do a guest post for her a couple of weeks ago now, and um, and it's been a fabulous
Yes.
experience. So Amira, let's just get right into it. Give us a bit about you and what you're doing here. How'd you start blogging? All that great stuff.
Awesome, I will. Well, thank you first of all, Sasha, for for the opportunity because I am thrilled to be here. Uh, your guest post for me was a hit. It's been very, very helpful for new bloggers. And so a little bit about me. I'm a lawyer. I'm a blogger now, and
Oh,
before that, I was a teacher and a model. So I've gone through many different phases in my life. But one thing that's been constant is that I've been a
hear
hustler.
ya.
So,
I hear ya.
so, so I have always had side gigs. So how did I get into blogging? Actually by accident. I never thought I would be doing blogging. I didn't even know that you could make money from a blog. But one day, I just stumbled upon a YouTube video. Actually, you'll see my blog post. One of my first blog posts on my blog, aselfguru.com, is about my journey, the 7-day journey, and how I launched my blog while working full time as a
Crazy.
lawyer in 7 days. So you can so you can get into you can get a lot more details, my whole 7-day experience. But I got into it because I got inspired by the six-figure bloggers that I watched on YouTube. And so I purchased their course to begin my journey. And that's just how I got into it. And blogging seemed like a really good option because my choices as a lawyer, working full time and pursuing a side business are very limited because
Hmm.
I can't commit 100% to, let's say, a brick and mortar type of business. So blogging seemed like a good viable option that allowed me to, work at my own pace, set up my own hours, and also make money.
Yeah.
So
What
that's what
I
I
mean,
did.
and kind of same thing kind of happened to me. It was something that kind of fell in my lap. Had no idea that had no idea that it could do
Uh-huh.
any of the things that people were blogging. I had no idea, right? And yeah, just an amazing,
Right,
yeah,
me
just
too.
incredible. And so you've had some fantastic experiences and some really great opportunities to monetize your blog. And for those of you who aren't bloggers or aren't maybe brand new to the blogging world, monetizing just means making money with your blog. So I'd love to hear about how you kind of started there and
Right.
sort of, what you're doing to monetize, that kind of stuff.
Sure. So when I started, I learned a lot really quickly because I was very passionate. I loved blogging right away, and I knew that this is something
Hmm.
I wanted to pursue long term. So the three ways initially that I monetized were number one, selling my own products. You have to identify that there's a need and you're solving a problem. So I did that. And then the second way was through sponsored post. And then the third way was affiliate marketing, which is pretty much if you're not pursuing, you
Hmm.
should, because every blogger should. And then, so my results were fortunately really good because the very first month I made $1,000. And then from there on, so my second month I made 3,700. So since then, my business has scaled up, and again, only working part-time on it. I'm not able to dedicate 100% as I would like to. But you can also read my post with more details as to how I made that 3,700 in 2 months, and it's on my blog. It's been actually one of my really popular posts because as new bloggers, you want to know how quickly everybody
Mm,
wants to monetize their blog quickly, right? Because you want to see the return
sure.
of your hard work. And so that's going
Yeah,
to
I
give you a
had an
lot more
opportunity to read that.
insights.
I love reading all of your stuff because it's so, for me as a new blogger too, it's super encouraging to see where it can take. Now, it's not for, not everybody gets that big, you worked really hard, you did a lot of work behind the scenes to get there, but it's really encouraging to see that a new blogger can do and accomplish those things for sure. So I'd love to
Right,
know, I had
exactly.
some difficulties in the beginning. I struggled with the sort of the technical end of getting in blogging. So I'm curious, what was your take
Hmm.
on the beginning when you first started? What kind of challenges did you have the most challenges, and sort of how did you get kind of overcome those or get past them?
Sure. There were two main challenges, and I would say that to some extent I am still encountering them. The first one is just finding the time to
Yeah.
blog with a full-time job.
Yeah,
Blogging itself,
I do.
because I think you also work,
Yes,
you
yeah.
also work full-time, right? So you can totally relate to what I'm saying. It's very, very challenging to allocate and be disciplined and find that time and make sure that you're not experiencing burnout because I have in many, many occasions. And but it's just one of those things that you have to. So I didn't in the beginning, I didn't know that blogging had so many
Yes.
different components to it and that it's a full-time
Sure.
job of its own. I I only realized that after I took the blogging courses and I learned more about the whole process. Anyone can write a blog post, but if you really want to do it right, then there's so many steps behind the scenes that you have to complete, like optimizing your images, optimizing your post for SEO, optimizing your title and making it click worthy, and just all kinds of things that behind the scenes you have to do to really make sure it's a great, valuable blog post, not something that you just wrote in
Yeah.
30 minutes and you're done. Then Pinterest and all those things. So that part is challenging, just making sure finding that time and allocating every day coming home. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of sleepless nights because I'm a workaholic. So that
Mhm.
brings me to my second challenge, right? Just striking that work-life
Mhm.
balance has always been my struggle. And to be very honest, even as a lawyer, I have no damn balance in my life. It's always, by default, I've always been just working around the clock because unfortunately, I don't have a job that's
Mhm.
just 9 to 5. It's not just a 40-hour week. It's a
Right.
65-hour week. I've been having to work weekends as a lawyer too, if I have to do research
Of
or
course.
go to court or anything. So there's been no balance, and
Mhm.
you kind of abuse yourself when you and then add blogging to the mix. It just like I overexerted myself and I really pushed myself to the limit.
No.
I don't recommend that. But I've learned that now to just kind of slow down. Now that I've created a steady stream of
Mhm.
income, I don't
Mhm.
have to kill myself, to go through the whole process. Now my blog is being monetized on autopilot to a lot, I'm being fortunate that I set it up in such a way with the products and everything. So now I can slow down a little bit. So that's what my motto is for 2019 of, what do I
Yeah,
say? Play
that's
more, work less.
that's a fantastic model because I
So
think that's something that is, when you start out, like you said, there are so many things that are involved. Just, you turn a corner,
yeah,
I've got that nailed down, and then there's something
right.
else that you're like, oh, I haven't even started there, and
Something
there's always
else.
something, right, so that you could tweak or you could make better,
Right.
and you could just drive yourself crazy on the next new thing. Yeah.
You do. Like the SEO, I didn't get into it right away because, as a
No.
new blogger, you're not thinking about SEO. But then when I got into it a month or so or a couple months later, then I had to go back and fix my posts. So there's
No.
always the work never ends,
Yeah,
because you're
absolutely.
always learning
Absolutely.
and you're
So,
fixing things.
like, do you think, like, was there that
Yep.
sort of moment where you kind of had this, like, aha or clarification, because I find that, I mean, and maybe you had some real direction when you started, but I find the most of the bloggers I run into sort of start off in this real sort of general sense. And then there's this like point within the usually pretty fast, especially if you're really dedicated, that you kind of have that aha, that clarification that's
Mm-hmm.
like, I know exactly the focus, where I want to go with this, what I'm trying to do. Did you get there? I mean, I imagine you have because you've been so successful. Just maybe share.
Yes.
share a little
I
bit
did.
about
I
how that
did.
came about?
Sure. Sure. So my blog vision was a hypothetical until I saw the results. So anyone can, it's very easy to create a blueprint for your future, but until you've achieved the results, it's just a vision waiting to be
Exactly.
transformed into action, right? Because we all can just, we can all just sit here and visualize and all of that, but we really have to put in the work and see the results of our hard work to realize our, that we've achieved that vision or turn it into reality. So in my case, that was when I noticed that I created my legal templates that all new
Yeah.
bloggers need. These are the legal pages on your website. When I saw that there was such a huge need in the blogging community for, help with the legal side of blogging, and I saw that my templates were selling and they were selling
Uh-huh.
without me even having to advertise because I still haven't spent a dime on advertising, which I will in the near future. But for now, I've made a huge progress without having to spend any money on advertising.
Mhm.
That's because I'm solving a problem. And there's a huge need for help with the legal side of blogging. And when I saw that that was working and I was making the money, then that was my aha moment that I needed to concentrate my efforts more on this subject, on this topic. So then I started to, work towards that more to help people out with
That's
the
awesome.
with the
Yeah.
legal
And
side.
so it's like finding those struggles, those pain points of our readers and knowing what those are,
Right,
honing in and sort of getting right there, finding out what can you help with. And you're totally right. It is one of those things that I remember struggling with really early on is, what is a privacy? Why am I doing? I mean, and I did it because everybody else had one, but I really didn't know why, right? And so
right,
that is
right,
was definitely
exactly.
a need that that had to be filled. And so you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what it's all about. And once you find that, I think you can sort of you have some momentum and drive to get someplace, and you've sort of narrowed down your focus,
Right.
and that's huge in blog land. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. And if you listen to your audience, even in like the thousands of Facebook groups that we have, like in the very beginning, I was in 15 some Facebook groups, and I'm still like now in maybe 20. But I saw that underlying issue, right? That
Yep.
bloggers constantly, even in your group, right? I've recently seen people asking questions about where do I find these legal
Yep.
pages, or how do I do this, or what is a privacy policy? Do I need a disclaimer? So I knew that I could help because there was a huge audience for it. So if you just listen to what your audience is saying, and then obviously the comments on my blog post and even in my own Facebook group, people asking questions. So that guides you and that kind of shows you the path that you need to be on and what your audience is relating to. And then once you figure that, once you've cracked that code, right, and you start monetizing, then after that, it's like, okay, I gotta focus my time and energy on this more than the other things. And so that's how you really
Exactly.
turn
Yeah,
your
that's
vision into
awesome. I
reality.
love that. So now, I mean, because we had a question, so I'm going to turn my head sideways because that's how I'm going to have to look at it.
Sure, yeah.
So my friend Deborah, she said 3,700. I'm assuming she's talking about your second month blogging there. What are you selling your? Well, you're selling your soul. That's
Right,
hilarious. No,
right.
Deb, Amira has a fantastic bundle of legal pages. I'm going to actually let her tell us exactly a little bit more about it. I'm going to drop a link here, so if you want to check it out, you can. But yeah, let's dig in. Tell me what you got, what all this great stuff is, because I
Sure.
know it's something like just today I had somebody in my blogging babes collective group ask, what are these things, what do they do? And so like you said, you're filling definitely a question, and it's a huge question, and it's important because it's legal. So yeah, tell us. I'd
Right.
love to hear more about it.
Exactly. Sure. Sure, sure. So every blog, is supposed to have like three legal pages, which are so my legal bundle includes these three pages, but also nine other
Nice.
bonuses. So the
Yeah.
bonuses alone are like, yeah, the bonuses alone are like $1,200 value. So you're getting a lot at a very, very affordable price. So the 3 pages that you need are privacy policy. You've seen those in different blogs, but you probably just never pay attention to it because it's in the
Yes.
little footer section. So, and plus it's legalese, which goes above, most people's heads, so we don't care for it, right? But it's super, super important, and for any business, and not just bloggers, but my bundle is for coaches, marketers, anyone that creates a course, and any online entrepreneur. So it includes a privacy policy template. It includes a disclaimer template, which includes also your disclosures, like your affiliate disclosures, and then it includes a terms and condition template. And you can read actually my post, which is the 3 ways to protect your blog, online business, and website on my blog, and that's going to guide you what these 3 pages are and what purpose they solve, because all 3 pages are for a different reason. So I won't
No,
sit
it's
here
not boring at all.
bore you with
It's not boring for you because you
for
do it all the time, but I have no
for
idea. So, but yes, be sure to check it out. She gives so much great
oh, I
information
know.
about what it's all about.
Right, because I've written like so many guest posts now on the subject and also my own blog post. So I feel like, oh my God, I'm
No,
speaking this in my sleep now,
not at all.
So, but it's really, really important as a new blogger before you launch that you have these 3 pages, legitimize your business, protect yourself from liability and lawsuits. And, privacy policy is actually required by law. So it's not something that you could just be like, oh, yeah, I can wait 6 months. No, don't make that mistake, because businesses are being sued every single day. Google, Facebook, you just Google it and you'll see. And for just not having proper privacy
Oh,
policies. So make sure to, protect yourself. And with my legal bundle, it's very comprehensive because I'm a blogger myself. So I knew
mhm.
what language to include. It really
Yeah,
helps when you're
yeah.
doing it yourself too, right? So it's not something that's generic, that the free templates out there. It's not. It's very, very comprehensive. It's detailed. It's drafted by me. So it'll take you from this confused, intimidated
Which,
state to feeling
yeah,
feeling relieved and happy and
which is
getting
perfect,
that peace of
and you
mind.
and those kind of things. If you don't have that legal background, you kind of need that hand-holding piece, right? It's not something you can
Yeah,
just stumble
exactly.
through, right? For sure, for sure.
No, you don't. Right. And any pro blogger would tell you that. And that's why they're an affiliate from my products, because they know the importance of this stuff,
Exactly.
right? So yeah, it's
No, and
don't
then you
so
have the
don't wait.
9 bonuses on top of the pay. So, I mean, the
Bonuses,
value is
correct.
extraordinary for sure.
Yeah, and Sasha, I purposely kept the price. And if look, I've done my homework. I've looked at my competitors. Every day, actually, other bloggers even send me a link, and they're like, "Oh, look, so and so is charging like $300 or
Yeah,
$500 for this pack, for the bundle. The same thing that I'm only selling for
exactly.
like nothing. So I'm like 3 times less than the price, and it's intentional. It's totally intentional because and it's also intentional that I have a very high paying, affiliate program, because I want to help others also make money. It's not just being like
No.
this greedy lawyer. Here you go, give me all your money. Because at the end of the day, I'm a business owner myself, so I know expenses
Hmm.
rise up really quickly, and I wanted to keep it so affordable so that there's no excuse for you not
Exactly. No,
to comply with the
that's so
law.
great. And you are
So,
running such an amazing program and an amazing affiliate program. So, like, for all you bloggers that are out there, keep this in mind. This is another stream of income, and it's not, you get your legal bit and you have a stream of income to come,
right.
and they're obviously we're filling a need. So, yeah, I think you've set up an amazing program. You've done so much good, and I mean, there's tons of comments. I see it all online. People just love your products, and they're always raving. And I think we have a nice. I can't um, oh, Sue, and she's saying how much she, loves your products and how much it's helped her. So, I mean,
Aw,
and I see it over and over and
thank
over
you,
again.
Sue.
So yeah, this is definitely I'm really, glad to have you on, and I think it's just been amazing. Um, you've been through so much. So what, now you're looking back a little bit just in this first
Yep.
short little stint here as a blogger, because we know it's a long-term game, right? It's
Right.
not, your speed was fast
Right.
in the beginning,
Absolutely.
but it's long-term. And so even just in this short period of time, could you give us a sense of sort of what you think your biggest success is? Obviously having, getting out what you've done, but your perspective on what your big success was in this last little bit here as a blogger I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So I will start with Sue's example just now. My biggest success is when someone like Sue says, "Hey, it was the best product," or "It helped me," or "I'm so happy." Like that feeling is out of this world because you're making such a
Mm-hmm.
huge direct impact. You're not just creating a
Exactly.
product that nobody cares about, but it's actually making a difference. So that's been my biggest success to, and then I'll take it a step further. And I have had affiliates making thousands from just recommending my legal bundle. And that to me is another huge success and accomplishment because a few months ago, I couldn't even, I mean, yes, I envisioned, but I couldn't still believe that I'm going to make money myself. But now to see others making money from my products is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. No words. So that brings me so much inner joy because now I know that it's very hard for bloggers to monetize, but if I can help you make that $60 per,
It is.
per sale, that's huge. Because that's why that's my high paying affiliate program, and I purpose like I said, I purposely kept it that high because I don't care at the end of the day,
Awesome.
sharing is caring. So I'm not just here. So, when I hear,
Sure.
so just to give you some more examples, and I'm
Do.
just going to read it off here. So, when people tell me like Sue did, and then other people tell me that, I bought Amira's legal bundle this weekend and had it customized and on my site in less than half an hour. Imagine all the hours saved. And I couldn't imagine having to create these legal pages myself. Money well
Oh,
spent,
that's so
time well saved. That's huge. It's like, yeah, or if somebody says that, I just finished personalizing Amira's legal templates. It was so easy. The weight of not having legal protection on my newish blog was weighing me heavily on me,
awesome.
and now I feel so free. So again, I mean, there's just a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of different examples. There are a lot on my sales page. There's a lot of testimonials on my website. So, and every day I get someone like you mentioned yourself, Sasha. You'll see comments, and at this point, it's an amazing feeling, and that to me, that's my huge success to make that difference and to get that kind of
That's
appreciation, and I'm
awesome.
very
Like, being
grateful for
grateful
that.
goes a long way in our business.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just that kind of person. Like I wake up and I think I picked that up from Tony Robbins. But just to wake up and be grateful for three things, it just sets the mood right. And
That's
in
awesome.
life you
And I
have to be
see, like I
grateful.
said before, so
So
many people so grateful for your bundle. And I'm always preaching that time is money, and especially for busy people, like you have full-time
yes,
job, I have full-time job. And if I
yeah,
pay and if
that's
I can
what
shave
I
off
say.
some time, I know I'm saving myself money somewhere in the long run. So, you know, having that package all together is
Yes,
so incredible. So, you know, just I want to just kind of recap and kind of go over all the things I've asked you all this stuff, but
sure.
I'm curious, and I start out with a lot of brand new beginner bloggers. One of the most frequently asked questions I
Uh-huh.
get is, how do I make money doing this blogging thing? I don't know if you know the story, but my husband, when I told him I was going to be a blogger, I'm going to make money, he said to me, "You can't make money from an online diary." It's kind of our running joke now. Because of course I am making money.
Actually,
Well, and
my
of course,
husband said the same thing. He's
yeah,
like, you're a lawyer. What are you
exactly.
doing this? Yeah.
No, and of
Yeah,
course, because
they
you
don't
said
get
you
it.
can't,
Yeah.
now that is like I'm definitely going to do
Mhm.
this because you said I cannot, not that he's not supportive. Yeah, I'm going to prove him
So
wrong
you
now.
gotta prove him
So,
wrong.
but I
Yes.
get it all the time, where do you start? How, what is your tips for successes and monetizing? And, if I know you've been so successful, do you
Mm-hmm.
have some tips for that beginner blogger for somebody that really wants to get into monetizing?
Absolutely. I mean, there are three things that come to mind. The first is don't lose hope and be patient, because it takes time, it takes months. And granted that, I made money in my first month, but that's because I did things a little differently and I created my products. I was very active in Facebook groups. I was very active in networking and things like that. But just don't lose hope just because it takes time. But everybody has their, his or her own journey, right? Some people are very good affiliate marketers, and some people are just start with monetizing with their like just ads on their blog. I haven't done that. So there are so many different ways to monetize, right? So don't lose hope if one thing doesn't work for you, because um, it's gonna come together with time. So it's the other thing is that don't, if something doesn't work, don't be afraid to change it. Because I've had to change things a lot. I'm talking like, constantly
Me too.
changing my sales page, constantly changing my home page, constantly changing this, that, because in the beginning you're learning, you're picking up as to what your audience wants. So just don't be afraid to change it, because change is good. It means you're improving. So the second tip I would give is stop
That's a
being a
hard one.
perfectionist because we don't
Okay.
oh, tell me about it, because I'm a perfectionist by nature. So by default I am a perfectionist. And because in
Yeah,
law, right, you have to be, in a way, because you're
of
not a good
course.
lawyer if you're not detail oriented, and you're not a perfectionist, you're not proofreading that brief that you're submitting to court,
Mhm.
then you're not a good lawyer. So you kind of, I just been that way all my life. But as soon as I got into blogging, and very quickly when I realized that how much work it entails and how many pieces come together to, fit things, I knew I had to stop being a perfectionist. Because if I wanted to make money, I can't just worry too much about my design, too much worry about my colors, and too much worry about my font. And these little things, I know, as especially
Mhm.
as women, they matter, right? Because you want that perfect look, or at least it's perfect in your head.
Yeah,
But what's the point? But what's the point if a few months later you're going to change it anyway? So don't spend that time. Spend your time wisely. I totally agree with Sasha. Time is money. Actually, that's my motto. Like, that's the first thing you'll see me say all the time. Time is money. So spend it wisely. Don't be a perfectionist. Don't be a workaholic like me either, because that's going to burn you out. But yeah, so take your time, just do things instead of just perfecting it, because what do they say? Done is
yes,
perfect. Done is better
yeah,
than being perfect,
exactly.
right? Or something like that. So don't focus. So don't focus on that. And I mean, that's going to help you a lot, because you're going to notice that when you're not so much of
Mhm.
a perfectionist, you're going to produce more. You're going to produce more, even if it's like 7 out of 10, it's still you produce. You made, like, I was making money when my sales page looked like crap.
No.
So it didn't, and I was like, and I knew it. And that's the thing, I
Yeah,
knew it, that it's not perfect, I, but I didn't care because I didn't have the time. I had to allocate my time accordingly and prioritize things. So it's okay. It's okay. You'll change it. You'll have time to
absolutely.
tweak things. The last tip I would give is, which is of course the most important one from me, from a lawyer standpoint, and I can't help it, is
No, you're
to
right.
protect to protect your, yeah, because here's why it's so important. Like, so the last tip is protect yourself and your online business legally. And it's so important because, look, we work night and day creating something, right? And creating this business that you're putting endless hours. I mean, I put a lot of hours into this. So what's the point if tomorrow you don't do things right and you get sued and it's taken away? It's going to be draining on your finances. It's going to be super expensive. It's going to be super stressful. So why not do things right
Mhm.
from the get-go and make sure that you protect your hard work, secure that. And so that's where the legal bundle, the legal pages are a start.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that's the end. That's at least the start to make sure you have the right platform, make sure you're doing things correctly so that tomorrow you don't get into any kind of legal trouble and have all that money that you just made now being spent to hire a lawyer and fight the case. And believe me, I see that all the time with entrepreneurs. You know, they make mistakes, they don't have a contract in place or they don't have something in place, and then they come to us and we're like, well, you know, X, Y, and Z. Now it's going to cost you thousands of dollars just to hire us to fight this. So why put yourself in that place? That's why I really emphasize the importance of having
Yeah.
your legal ducks in the row
Absolutely.
from
And
the beginning.
I mean, thank you for all those tips. They're all so relevant, you know, each one. I mean, minus the legal bundles, because I don't know anything
Yeah,
about those, but I know they're important. But the other ones, you know, so critical,
right.
um, because it's hard. Blogging is hard work and it's hard business.
It's
And
very hard.
but you know, being persistent and persevering, and don't be too hard on yourself. And you know that your comment about nitpicking your stuff and being a perfectionist, yeah, I've seen so many times over and over again, you know, spent literally hours on a font change or the size of a font, or you know, and then
Yeah,
I'm
there you
thinking, why am I bothering if I don't have any content to read? The font is irrelevant.
go.
So
Right,
you know, but it's like a head check. You know, you have to
right.
remember that that's happening. So yeah, those are such great and amazing tips. So I think, do we have any other better look? um, so yeah, I mean,
Right.
I just again want to thank you, Amira, so much for taking time out of your insane schedule. And I know we're
You're
really close to
welcome.
Christmas, and that makes things even tighter. So I really appreciate, you know, the hour it took us to figure out how to get on here first.
That's true. But I'm so glad
And
we
of course
did.
the time you gave up to be with us all today. For any of you that have missed it and are interested in legal bundles, I'm going to say I did post my affiliate link. That's my disclosure there in the
Of
comment
course.
section if you're interested in checking them out. Um, I'm also going to wrap all of this great, lovely tidbits of great juiciness from Amira, and I'm going to actually put it all into a post and recap, and I'll have this video included as well. And I'm going to have that hopefully out Monday morning. So just got to do a bit of editing and yeah, and so that if you've missed it, we're going to find ways for you to see it. And of course, you can always catch a replay anytime. Feel free to comment. One of us will catch it. And I apologize that my eyes are in this direction the whole time. I don't mean to stare not at it's the weirdest thing.
No,
I,
I'm probably
I
doing the
can't
same thing. So it's not just
yeah,
you.
and
It's because
you're
of our
small,
screen.
so maybe no, am
Yeah.
I small on your screen? I'm giant.
No, actually,
See, now I was
you're
hoping I
full
was going to be
size.
small
Yeah.
so that my eyes would point the right direction, but that just didn't work out.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
and of course I'm going to share this out to my Blogging Babes Collective group so that anybody can catch it there. This is a public video, so feel free to share if you feel that you're going to find somebody might find some value somewhere else as well. So, any closing comments? Anything else?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it was a lot of
Oh,
fun. Thank you, Sasha, for your time. It was well worth going through
we'll
the
get better.
craziness in the beginning. But I'm glad we sorted.
We'll do this again.
We'll get better for
Pros.
sure.
Yeah,
This is
we'll do
one
this
of the
again when
many
we're
to
pros
come.
at it. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
that's true. That's
Awesome.
But and yeah, no, the only other thing is if you have any questions, like Sasha said, please feel free to comment. We both are easily accessible, and she's just as good as I am with
I try.
responding
Yeah.
super fast. And yeah, no, you are. And also, if you have any other questions, you can feel free to, text me I mean, PM me on the side, or you're welcome to join my
Yeah.
Facebook group also if
Sure.
if
Yeah,
you
and
like to stay in
your
touch or
Facebook group. Sorry, I just
and
want to
yeah.
let because it's a fantastic group as well. Go ahead and share that if you like.
Sure, and I'll share the link later on too, but it's the same name as my blog. It's A Self Guru and Be a Biz Blog Community. So if you go to my profile, you'll see the link, or if you'll just go to aselfguru.com for this Facebook page, you'll see the link to my group over there
Perfect.
as
Yeah.
well, and also on my blog.
Yeah,
So
and
there's
the
multiple
group is
ways.
fantastic. So if you aren't a part of Amir's group, definitely jump on there. It's fantastic networking. Most of the groups are actually. I can't complain about the majority of them are pretty good. So The more the merrier.
That's true.
Definitely, everybody needs a hand in Blogland for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks
Right,
so much,
exactly.
and have a
Well,
great rest of your day.
okay.
And yeah, and feel free to post
You
any questions,
too.
comments. Let us know that you're watching and hashtag replay. Let us know that you've seen and checked it out. Take care. Have a great day.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.